This woman was once the Silver Moon Frostwolf heir, a once-in-a-century opportunity for the wolf clan. But now she's treated like a mindless dog. Her family told her to die, and without hesitation, she plunged a knife into her own heart. And all of this stems from a vicious conspiracy and a cruel wolf spirit stripping witchcraft 7 years ago. The story begins with Sophia, a woman who has just survived an assassination attempt. Her wounds are bleeding profusely, but the healer who should be treating her is instead called away by her scheming sister, Lillian, under the pretext of a leg injury. Soon, Lillian limps in, grasps Sophia's hand, and feigns an apology. "Sophia, it's all my fault. I shouldn't have come back and taken away your princess status." While she speaks of remorse, her words are veiled accusations that Sophia is merely putting on a show to gain sympathy. Sophia remains expressionless because she is not acting at all. 7 years ago, it was this cook's daughter, Lillian, who, using a counterfeit bloodline stone, claimed to be the true werewolf princess and framed Sophia, imprisoning her in a dark and hopeless dungeon. In the dungeon, Lillian bribed a dark sorcerer to cast the forbidden spell, Wolf Spirit, stripping on Sophia. From that moment on, Sophia lost all emotions and willpower, becoming a mindless, unfeeling corpse, only capable of obeying commands. Now, watching Lillian's hypocritical performance, Sophia silently tore off her healing robe and pressed the tattered prison clothes tightly against her wounds. This was the only way she had learned to stop bleeding during her 7 years in the dark dungeon, using dirty clothes to plug the wounds, letting them fester, struggling to survive on the brink of death, time and time again. Just then, Sophia's brother, Vincent, walked in. Seeing Lillian's aggrieved expression, a flash of disgust crossed his eyes, and he snapped, "7 years of reformation, still haven't taught you anything. Do you really want Lillian, the victim, to apologize to you?" Hearing her brother's command, Sophia immediately knelt down, saying to Lillian, "It's all my fault. If my pain isn't enough, just say the word, and I'm willing to pay any price, including my life." Before she finished speaking, she actually picked up a dagger and was about to stab herself in the heart. Vincent was instantly horrified, rushing forward to grab her hand tightly. The tip of the knife was only millimeters from her heart. He roared, "Are you insane? Why do you do whatever you're told?" Sophia looked at him calmly, her eyes empty. "I'm not insane. I've just been stripped of my wolf spirit, turned into an emotionless, obedient walking corpse." However, to her family, her explanation was nothing more than another performance to gain sympathy. Her father rushed forward and slapped her, berating her as a beast who only knew how to use self-harm to gain sympathy. Her mother, filled with despair, cried out, lamenting how her daughter had become like this. They didn't know that each of Sophia's self-harms was simply a faithful execution of their unintentional or intentional orders. On the day of her release, Lillian, intending to frame her again, deliberately led her to the animal pen, pointed at a mad wolf, and commanded, "Ride it, and charge at me." Sophia obeyed without hesitation. Just as the wolf was about to crash into Lillian, Vincent and the guards arrived in time to save her. Everyone turned their anger towards Sophia again. Vincent trembled with rage. "You actually tried to ride the wolf and trample Lillian to death." Sophia knew she had done something wrong again. To atone, she slammed her head against a nearby stone pillar, once, twice, until the sound of her skull shattering rang out, and blood blurred her vision. Lillian recoiled at the horrifying sight, but continued to taunt Sophia. "Sophia, the more you play the victim, the more everyone will hate you." Back home, Lillian, disgusted by Sophia's filth, pinched her nose and forced her to wash herself in the pond. Sophia, obeying the order, turned and jumped into the icy pond. She couldn't swim, and didn't struggle. She sank straight to the bottom like a stone. Her family was terrified. Vincent, frantically, jumped in again and pulled her out. Looking at the lifeless Sophia on the shore, Vincent was both angry and confused. He blurted out, "7 years ago, you broke Lillian's leg. If you really want to die, break your own leg first as an atonement." "Okay," Sophia replied, turning and running towards the cliff to the north. She intended to break her own leg by jumping off. Vincent struggled to pull her back from the cliff edge, and the two fell to the ground together. Sharp rocks cut Vincent's palms, drawing blood. But the tremor in his heart when he looked into Sophia's empty eyes far outweighed the pain in his hands. At the moonlight banquet, Lillian once again staged a self-inflicted injury, falsely accusing Sophia of drugging her drink and trying to offer her to the chieftain of the rival Grey Wolf clan. Vincent was completely enraged. He slapped Sophia, causing her mouth and nose to bleed, and roared, "If Lillian is violated, you won't live either." "Fine." Hearing the order, Sophia picked up the silver knife on the table and once again pointed it at her heart. This time, even Vincent's friend, Ethan, an investigator for the Silver Moon Council, couldn't bear to watch. He held Vincent tightly, his expression grave. "Vincent," he pointed out, "look closely. She's not acting. She feels no pain at all. She's following orders like a puppet." This is a classic symptom of the wolf spirit being stripped away. A normal person would never obey someone else's orders at the cost of self-harm. Vincent froze. He watched Sophia, her flesh scalded and bloodied by boiling water, still kneeling on the ground, mechanically wiping away the blood, as if it weren't her own body. He recalled Sophia's repeated, unwavering acts of self-harm, and a terrifying thought finally rose in his mind. Could it be that what she said was true? However, their father believed Sophia had brought the family utter shame and ordered her tied to a stone pillar in the square to reflect on her actions, forbidding anyone to give her food or water. Late at night, the temperature plummeted, and Sophia kept warm by eating snow and withered leaves. The next morning, Lillian rode her tall dire wolf to the plaza. She whistled and sneered at Sophia. How pathetic, no different from the lowest stray dog. She held out her wrist to Sophia, commanding her like a dog, "Come on, good dog, bite me." Sophia looked up, revealing a fawning, dog-like smile, and then actually opened her mouth, biting Lillian's wrist hard. Lillian screamed. Vincent, who happened to arrive, witnessed this, and flew into a rage. He slapped Sophia to the ground, roaring, "When did you learn to bite like a wild dog?" Lillian pointed in horror at the eerie smile on Sophia's face, crying to Vincent, "Her wolf spirit is definitely broken. Take her to the Mad Wolf Tower." Vincent looked at Sophia's empty, eerie smile, a chill rising from his feet. He finally nodded and ordered Sophia to be sent to the Mad Wolf Tower, a place specifically for imprisoning out-of-control werewolves. That very evening, the Tower's witch doctor brought Sophia a whole bottle of heart-corroding potion and commanded expressionlessly, "Drink it." Sophia obediently took the bottle, unscrewed the cap, and poured the entire bottle of poison enough to utterly destroy her mind down her throat. Would her fate be one of utter ruin, or would she encounter something unexpected?